This part starts from 1985, when I came to live permanently in Schenectady. I already spoke about the house itself, so now I will talk about our daily routine during those years. Depending on the season, we had many regular tasks. In summer, I devoted a lot of time to the garden. We grew fresh vegetables and planted raspberry bushes that Jim's mother gave us. We placed them along the neighbor's fence, and they grew into a large patch that needed constant care. We also planted a cherry tree and a pear tree, but we had little luck with fruit because the squirrels ate most of it before we could harvest. I still had to trim the branches regularly. In winter, we faced a long driveway to the garage and a substantial sidewalk, probably 60 or 70 feet, that needed clearing. I used a snowblower, but a lot of handwork was still required afterward. Helena went to the college every day because she was still working. I went almost every day to the college's new Olympic-sized swimming pool. We had assigned lockers for our clothes and towels. That became part of our daily routine. From time to time, we attended parties at the college or at other professors' homes. The non-routine activities were mostly connected to scientific work. Twice, after 1985, we went to Mexico with one of Helena's colleagues, a botanist from Harvard, to collect special heliotropium plants. We later published several papers from that work in plant physiology and biochemistry. Every tax season, from the beginning of February until around April 10th, I volunteered with the IRS VITA program at the Schenectady Library. I helped many people prepare their tax returns and did this for about 10 years, usually 3 times a week during that period. We also traveled. We visited Paris and London several times. In London, we always stayed with our close friend on Cable Street. During one of our later visits in the 1990s, we learned she had suffered a stroke and was in a retirement home. We managed to speak with her daughter, the actress, but unfortunately could not see our friend. We visited many museums, especially the Metropolitan Museum, and took trips outside London. My old school friend, who had become director of a polytechnic, also visited us in Schenectady. We spent many hours reminiscing about our lives, from gymnasium days through the war. He had joined the French Army and later the British Army. We stayed in contact until his death. I only learned about it when a letter I sent was returned, and his son informed me. I also handled our finances, retirement plans, and taxes each year. After I retired in 1968, I had some years without Social Security or Medicare contributions. But once in Schenectady, I arranged everything. I set up annuities and 403(b) plans for Helena through TIAA-CREF. These accumulations served us well, and after Helena's death in 2015, we were able to transfer the remaining IRA and 403(b) funds to our grandchildren. During this period, we had several sad events. In 1990, we finally visited Poland again after the political changes. Helena had to return soon afterward for the funeral of her cousin. His son also died shortly after, but she did not attend that funeral. We visited Eva and her family in Israel, staying with them for about a week and seeing other relatives and institutions. We returned to Israel again from Egypt in 1995. In the 1990s, I began having increasing trouble walking and later needed a walker. I also developed macular degeneration and had cataract surgery. The doctor had hesitated to operate earlier because of the macular degeneration. The result was worse than expected, and I nearly lost all vision in my left eye. I soon realized it was safer to stop driving completely. From then on, Helena had the added burden of driving everywhere. In the late 1980s, we drove to Montreal for the funeral of my sister, who lived in Toronto. Her husband had died years earlier. On one trip to Canada, we missed the turn to Montreal and arrived much later than planned. On another occasion, probably later, our passports, plane tickets, and traveler's checks were stolen in southern France. We had to rush back to Paris, go to the embassy, and get new documents in order to fly home. Whenever possible, especially at Christmas or during summer, we visited our son and his family in Palo Alto. Sometimes we flew, sometimes we drove across the country. In one year, probably 1987, our young grandson, then around 12, flew to New York. We picked him up there and brought him to Schenectady by car. On the return trip, he joined a geological field trip for children in Utah, enjoyed it very much, and received a diploma. I think I have already spoken in other parts about the 1990 visit to Poland and other later travels. It is becoming difficult to recall every detail, so I will stop here regarding the Schenectady years. Next time, I will continue with our decision to move to Whiting around 2008.